what I know that's in my head that has made me successful all these years is something that I don't think I've ever shared anywhere. I've shared it to my small group, Speak, Sell, Shine. They have heard it, but I don't think I've ever really shared it in terms of what I'm going to do today. So let's go here. So it's going to be a little bit tricky here. Aha, you're all getting a preview of what's coming up, huh? All right, let's go here. What is going on with my screen here? Come on, Mac don't want me to be great. What's going on? Why the P.A.M. Masterclass? Okay. Who am I and why should you listen to me? Always starting out with those type of things on webinars, right? Like, who am I? Some of the people here have been on my webinar and on my email list for years. 1 year, 2 year, 3 years, 4 years, sometimes as long as 20 years, right? And then there's some new people. It's cool. Always, you should always be having new people that you're speaking to. But for those of you who don't know me, I am an entrepreneur, PR entrepreneur, have been for the last couple of decades or so. They call me an OG. Lindsay, I know what that means. It's the original gangster, right? The award-winning publicist and magazine publisher of Speakers Magazine. One of the awards was just given just recently, the Pinnacle Award from Rodney C. Burris, who'll be coming up in a few minutes. And I told Rodney, yes, I told Rodney, I said, so pinnacle means that I've reached the pinnacle and there's nowhere else to go. He was like, no, 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 you just got the pinnacle. I was like, okay, because I got a lot more to share. I really, really do. And I'm excited about it. And I've worked with, and I can't really keep a real count, but it's been 5,000 authorpreneurs, speakerpreneurs. The reason why I say that is that if you sell gadgets or products, or you have a e-commerce type of store, I don't really work with those type of individuals or companies anymore. I used to do PR for automotive companies, food products, including McDonald's, Dunkin' Donuts. I work with nonprofits. I've worked with organizations, but my sweet spot, what I'm really good at and what I really love, are speakers and authors, consultants and coaches, those service providers who are trying to make a difference in the world. And it's been about 5,000 over the years. Okay, softly. Here we go. This is just a little clip of some of the people I've worked with over the years. You see over to the far left, maybe you're right, is Stephanie Mills. I've worked with her. Ed Gordon, I've worked with her. Juanita Rasmus, who's a pastor of Beyonce. You see Tony Gaskins on there. One of the ones in the middle there is Andrea Hall, one of my very first, what I say, famous clients. She was an anchor at CNN. She's passed now, but one of my favorite clients, 2001 or so. And you see Dante Lee, we've been partners with blacknews.com, Stacey NC Grant. So those are some of the people that I've worked with. That is actually on my Pinterest board, all of those. So why the P.A.M. Masterclass? Why are we gathering today on this 7th day, on December 17th at 7 p.m. to really talk about promoting, amplifying, marketing? Those three things, the P, the A, and the M. How to promote your message so that you effectively to the right audience, how to amplify that message so you increase your visibility, and then how to master marketing. Marketing is another word for sales. So the first one, P, let's talk about the P. 24 ways to promote yourself in 2024. Now, you know there's more, right? There's way more, but we're just going to keep it 24 because we're going into 24. So one of the first things of promoting yourself is to write a book. If you're a subject matter expert, if you're a thought leader, lead with thoughts. If you're a subject matter expert, you need to have a subject that you've written on that people can pick up a book and say, hey, this is your book. This is what I talk on. This is my signature book. This is Ryan's book here. He talks about sales, and that is his book. Speaking at industry events, that is really the main thing that I want everyone in this community to know, that speaking at industry events are very important. Collaborating with influencers. An influencer is someone who is an influence in your area where you want to go. So it's a diversity, equity, and inclusion influencer, someone who has a big following, and you do some kind of collaborative event with them. YB will be coming on. We'll talk more about that. Podcast appearances. Obviously, I've been podcasting since Blog Talk Radio. Kamari is on since Talk Shoe, right? So those kind of things, podcasting has changed, but podcasting is still a good way to promote yourself. Blogging regularly, enough said about that. I've been blogging since probably 2004 or 5. I will tell you a quick little story. When I started my blog, I didn't know what the heck I was doing. I was like just posting press releases. I was like, why isn't anybody reading my blog? It was like they don't want to read about your clients. They want to know what you do for your clients. And when I finally made that shift that people want to learn about PR and not read about the clients, like they don't want to read a blog about a bunch of press releases, I finally made that shift. That was again a coach that kind of helped me figure that part out. Social media engagement, webinars like I'm doing here, email newsletters, don't sleep on those. Please don't sleep on those. YouTube channel is highlighted because this Friday in our Ready, Set, Go Speak community, we're going to be talking about the YouTube channel and how to grow it, how to monetize it, and why as a speaker, you need to have one that works. Not just have one and I've got one and I just throw stuff on it occasionally, but with a strategy. So Lindsay will be our speaker in our Ready, Set, Go Speak community Friday at 2:00, really talking about that. And that's what we're going to be doing in the community, having trainings. Vicki may be doing some trainings. Rodney may do some trainings. YB is doing trainings. We're training on our expertise. And we'll also have ongoing discussions because you don't want to stay stuck on the merry-go-round. You want to be able to get on the horse and run and actually go further faster when you're together. I think that's an African proverb. SEO, search engine optimization. If we are not, if I say that more than once, SEO in this webinar, it's because it is very important for visibility. You can be Googleicious, meaning that what shows up on page 1 should be Vicki Hamilton Wright, should be Pamela Lou Hing. It should be, those are Googleicious things because SEO matters. How does it work? One of the things I tell people just overall is post things, fresh links often enough that have high domain authority on those sites, giving you backlinks. So as much as I say, okay, I'm Googleicious because I'm on Facebook all the time. No, you need to have high domain authorities in other places as well, maybe in other blogs, maybe in online magazines, but you want to have SEO, search engine optimization. When I'm looking for you and you say who you are, what do I find on the first? Google yourself. Put your name up on Google Alert and see what comes up. Personal branding photos. I will say this about Black people. And Lindsay will as my witness will know that we don't mind taking pictures. Black people will take some pictures. We will do a photo shoot and it'll be a whole thing like that. That part I think we kind of got. I remember when we first started maybe 10 years ago, it was hard for us to find a good photo, but now we're doing photo shoots seem like every month. Photos are important, but they're not everything. A photo shoot is not your brand. That is not going to promote you. You do need to speak. Media interviews, can't say that enough. TV, radio, those are one of the main things. Print are always. Create a magazine. Hey, Speakers Magazine was one of the things started 7 years ago. And that's a way to promote yourself because when you have a magazine, it's one of the things that you are the publisher, right? And it actually goes out to other people. But you have to have a reason for having a magazine. So I'm saying all of these things, you don't have to do them all, but they should be fire starters for you. Publicity campaigns. Publicity is not one and done. You don't put one article out and then just go sit down. It's a campaign. Think about somebody who's running for political office. It's a campaign. It's continuous. It's strategic. It's often. It is in different places all the time. My rule of thumb, get over yourself, put yourself out there. Media kit, a media page. Every website should have a media page. Every person should have a media kit. Because when the media wants to interview you, they says, okay, give me your kit. Because it should have everything in there that you need. Sponsorship opportunities, LinkedIn presence. YB will probably talk about that, but I love LinkedIn. If you're like, oh, Pam, I sent you an Instagram message or I sent you a Facebook message. I was like, I didn't see it. I'm not really on there like that. I'm on LinkedIn. You send me a LinkedIn message, I'm going to get it. Do a community event. A community event would be like during maybe Breast Cancer Awareness Month, you do an event and all the proceeds go to that. Those type of events where they're charitable events and it causes news. It's a way to promote yourself, but also by doing good. Press releases, I love those. I can write those in my sleep. Now AI can write them for me, basically, because it's like, hey, I thought I was good at writing press releases, but with ChatGPT, it's even better. But you still have to know what to put in there in order to get a good press release. Infographics, I'll put in Sheree. Infographics are really, really good. If you have a lot of information that you can't really condense in uh, a a blog post because it's too complicated, infographics are really good to share people who are visually and to see it very simply. Some of the best places to find someone who does infographics could be Upwork or things like that. Give an award. That's one of the things Rodney C. Burris does. He goes around and he does these Pinnacle Awards. He gave one to Willie Jolly. He gave one to me. They're a good way to promote yourself because now you're having a limelight. You're on stage. You gave one to Cheryl Wood. It's a way. Now, obviously, the award costs some money and he has to actually physically show up and do it. It costs him some time as well. But that's just one way to promote yourself. And testimonials, that's the best way. If you have testimonials of what people have said about you, yes, you put them on LinkedIn, but you should also put them everywhere that you possibly can. Put them on your back of a postcard, put them on obviously your one sheets and that sort of thing. And then the whole phenomenon is TikTok going away? No, TikTok is pretty much going to stay here because people love short form content. So bottom line on this, on the P, Eric Thompson, is get over yourself, put yourself out there, don't hold yourself back, be your own publicist. Networking at conferences, all of those things are pretty much, I guess you would say, extroverted kind of things, but we all have something to share. We're not just putting ourselves out there just to be seen, to be famous, right? We're not doing it for ego, right? We're doing it because we want to build our business. We're doing it to share. We're doing it to tell stories. We're doing it to let people know how they can work with us. So there is a person I want to bring up now, Stacey Hawkins Adams. Give you a quick story about Stacey Hawkins. She was part of our Speak, Sell, Shine group back in October at the press club. So Stacey is an author and she has written almost 15 or so books and a little poem book as well. And just, she's been a storyteller since she's about 5 years old. For real, for real. She's been a reporter, a columnist, all the things. So Stacey, if you're here, if you could bring yourself in and up, I want to introduce.
Hi, I'm here. My video doesn't seem to want to work. I'm trying to get that to work for you, but I am here.
Okay, well, we could keep your picture up. You can continue to talk. So I guess I must have put that in there for you in case your video didn't work. But
I
she's
guess
just like the
so. Yeah,
picture.
hopefully it'll come on.
Well, tell us a little bit, Stacey Hawkins Adams. I love saying all three of your names, about promotion. And
Yeah. So
okay.
Yeah, well, I will say, well, first of all, thanks for having me, Pam. As Pam said, she's been working with some folks for 20 years, and I'm one of those 20-year folks. I am a former journalist, so when she talks about promotion, I know it from both sides because I was a newspaper reporter for about 15 years full time, and as I was kind of segueing out of that, I started writing women's fiction and getting into some nonfiction, and have still done a little bit of the freelance journalism and some target marketing work. And I work in strategic marketing for my day job as well. So I know the value of what's known as promotion and marketing in those terms. But from the author writer side that we're here on tonight, a speaker side, that's something that we're often not comfortable doing because a lot of us are doing it because we want to serve other people. We want to get a message out that we feel like we want to impact people. So we don't like, and I'm that way too. I don't like the idea of having to sell myself or put myself out there where I feel like I'm bragging about myself. But what Pam has talked about when she talks about promotion is really it's almost like if you're birthing a book, you're birthing a baby, or if you've got a message and you're the curator of that message. If we don't put it out there, people aren't going to find it, and then we're not accomplishing the goal of service. So we've got to be willing to share our message, amplify our message in a way that it reaches people so it can have the impact that we want it to have. And one of my funny stories of working with Pam, my publisher, one of my traditional publishers, a Baker Publisher Group, when I first got started, and it was my second novel, and they hired her to help kind of tap into the African American market. And that was probably, I think, 2007-ish or so. And she kept trying to push me to go onto Facebook. MySpace was still a thing back then. Y'all remember MySpace. And so she was trying to get me to go
The
onto
OG too.
Facebook. And yeah, I'm an OG. And I went kicking and screaming because I was like, I don't have time. I don't want to do that. And she just kept pushing. And I finally went out there. And I think it's like 2008 or 2009 that I set up my page when I look back at my memories. And sure enough, that's when the book club started reaching out, and bookstores across the country started inviting me to do book signings, and I was getting speaking engagements and things of that nature. So I really kind of started to see it as a resource for promotion. And then also with my journalist hat on, I'll say, Pam does the PR, and what she always talks about is like, what's your secret sauce, or what's your why. I would say that that's actually true from the journalism side, because when you are pitching, whether it's someone to share your keynote message or you're trying to share your book, they're always thinking, what's in it for my reader? What's in it for my audience? What's in it for my listener? So we always have to approach it from that perspective of, I'm bringing this to the table that's going to help your audience in whatever way. So Pam has been great with helping me with that. I'm one of those folks. She talked about having tough coaches. She's one of those that kicks me and I need it. She
Push
pushes
you.
me in
I push
ways.
you. Right, right.
Yeah, she and Lindsay. Lindsay's one of my newer coaches, and they both push me in ways that I need. And all of it's for the good. So I'm not sure if there's another story you want me to tell, but I think, Pam, in general, all the things that you had on your list of 24 things, because I am an OG, I have done many of those
Mhm.
things. I've given away a Watercolor Pearls Award, which was based on my third novel, Watercolor
Yes.
Pearls. I've given
Yeah.
that away to a few women in the communities. I've hosted special events tied to my inspirational brand for women, celebrating the power of women's stories. I had a whole blog talk radio series back in the day because of
Ooh,
Pam. So
yes.
all those things on that list of 24, it's not like you have to do them all at once. You can pick
No.
and choose the seasons to do those things. And it
Mhm.
also kind of allows you to be relevant in a particular season when you pick what you want to do. So just
That
wanted
is
to
good.
share that promotion
Yes,
is key. And I think having a coach or coaches along the way to help you do that really kind of, it's like that iron sharpens iron.
it does. And one of the things, thank you so much, Stacy. One of the things that I like about Stacy is that she is so modest. And so it does take someone to help push you, and even in the community to push you, because there was thing we were at Speak Sell Shine and we were in front of the media panel, and Stacy's book was dropping, her poetry book was dropping the following week. Stacy, and people don't realize how bold that was. She's got in front of the group, put up her I have a picture of her. You were holding your book and said, "I'd like to give all of the media that were there this particular book," and you did your pitch and it was excellent. And I was like, people don't realize it was like a few years ago you would not been able to do that. So
Thank you.
that's the kind of thing that you want, because you got bold enough when we were at the Speak Sell Shine. So the next one, okay, not Vicky yet. All right, I'm gonna go. All right, thank you so much, Stacey. So the next one is, we did the P. Now we did Stacy. She talked about promotion. Now we're talking about the A. Okay. This is the part that I just go crazy over. And it most people, it's just, it's a how do I say it? It is the part that drives them the most. How to amplify your brand, how to really make sure that you're sharing everything everywhere that makes sense. And then sometimes I say, sometimes when it doesn't make sense. One of the things I tell people, I said, amplification could be something as simple as you have a book and you have a t-shirt and you put that book cover on your t-shirt and you walk around in it. This is from the old school, right? Of when people used to walk around in sandwich signs and billboards when they would walk around, because we're in the attention economy. So how do you get someone's attention? You have a message, you're promoting it, but how do you amplify it? So one of the main things I put first was a social media banner art. I lose it for the most part when I go to someone's LinkedIn or Facebook page and there's nothing there. If it's blank or it's a flower, it was like, this is prime real estate. So please always have a social media banner that represents who you are, what you stand for, who you serve. Event marketing, event branding. When you have an event, if you have a signature event, that you are branding that event with your logo, with pictures of you, what people are coming there to see. Sometimes it's a step and repeat, but event branding is a part of amplification your message. Mail campaigns. I probably say this all the time to people in the community. Have an email list, have an email list. I send out an email, and I think we're maxed out at this point. 200 people register, but you know how it is. Some people will will come and some people will figure out, I missed it or whatever. So right now we have 50 people on the on this webinar. It came from email. Yeah, I could have put it out on Instagram and Facebook, and I did a little bit. I think I did today, but for the most part, people who are on your email list are familiar with you. They've been familiar with you for a while. Voicemail. This is the thing that people always forget. If someone calls you on your phone, what does your message say? That is the first point of contact. Now, I have one particular client, his name is Bobby. When I call his voicemail and I get his voicemail, it is like a motivational moment. I mean, because he's a motivational speaker. And I just love sometimes when he doesn't pick up so I can hear his voicemail message. But it's a way to really hook people in. It's amplifying who you are. Don't let it be the recorded message like, oh, afterwards, leave your number, but make that almost like a mini commercial, especially speakers. You speak, you motivate, you inspire. So making sure that when people are leaving a voicemail message, that is something. Outdoor billboards. I don't know if Therese, she had her event today. She was on the New York in Times Square today on a billboard on Wednesday. And so that is amplifying the message of what she's doing. Her event she did today, the Purposeful Lunch in Cleveland today. Personalized messaging, meaning like you are in someone's DM with the personalized message with your branding in there. One of the things that if you become familiar to people in your brand, when you do message someone, they're familiar with you. The first contact that they've seen of you, was positive. LinkedIn audio is a way to amplify your message. It's almost like Clubhouse, but it's on LinkedIn. Because I said LinkedIn is my favorite. So it's almost like Clubhouse. You don't have to go on camera, but it's very similar. Partner promotions was one of the things we talk about. Branding. If you're sending someone a text message, you can really do those quick type of messages. Like if you put OMY, like on my way or something like that, it will type out the word. But you could do quick messages on your branding for when you're sending text messages. When I put in XXX, it puts my name, it puts my some emojis, it puts my email address, it puts my website in just 3 X's. Okay. Portable displays are really important. You carry your branding with you. So if you go pop up somewhere and says, hey, can you say a few words? Sure, no problem. And you get your little umbrella thing, you pull it up because it's for the photos, right? Portable brands, pull up umbrella things are really a way to amplify your brand as well. YouTube clips, we'll talk about that next Friday. Your email signature is probably one of the first points of contact that you have with the media, with an event planner. Make it great. That's all I have to say. Just make it great, right? Don't make it so long. So when they print, maybe you print your email, it's like 4 pages, but make it great. Testimonial branding. Again, I can't say that enough. I personally don't use testimonial branding as much as I should, but that is really the best way to really promote yourself. Talkadot, we had a meeting with Talkadot last week, and it talked about using your testimonial branding on your particular social media. Repurpose your PR, and that's what Vicky's going to talk about. When you do get PR placements, repurpose them from the standpoint so that other people can see that you were on a television station or you were in a magazine, but repurpose it, not just like, oh, here's the link, there it is, but be creative with it. I'll let Vicky talk about that. Branded merchandise. That's a big thing. I mean, you can have your own branded merchandise, whether it is a mug or whether it is a notepad, but branded merchandise really helps amplify your messaging. Please don't sleep on that in 2024. Not just an ink pen and that kind of thing, but things that make sense for you. One of the things that people really, really enjoy when I'm interviewing them at events is I have a mic flag. It's my own branded mic flag. It says Speakers Magazine. So I don't have it right here, but it's a branded mic flag, and you can do those type of things. The other thing, personal networking. If you do not like talking to people, if you really don't like talking to people, and it's like, you don't have to talk. If you're an introvert, you know what you do? Ask people to tell them about themselves. Most people like talking about themselves. So when you are going to a networking place to network and you're feeling like, oh my God, I really, really, be the person that's like, I'm going to ask the questions. I'm going to find out. Be like the fact finder. Survey your audience. Just think of it as a survey. Think of it as research, but ask a lot of questions. Your nervousness will go away because you don't have to walk up to people and then really tell people what you're all about. Because if you ask people enough questions, about themselves, pretty they'll say, after they talk about 15, 20 minutes, they'll say, well, so what do you do? Then you feel comfortable enough to share with them, right? Because most introverts are like, I don't want to talk to anybody cold. But if you go there with the mindset of, I'm going to network by asking questions, you'll be okay. Eventbrite, crazy SEO on Eventbrite. People should use it a lot. If I'm looking for an event, say if I'm looking for the Purposeful Brunch by Tari Donaldson, if I put that in, the Eventbrite link will come up. Of course, she had it on her website, but because Eventbrite is connected to so many other backlinks and things like that, it has a lot of Google juice. I know that's not a technical word, but it has a lot of Google juice. So use Eventbrite to amplify anything that you're doing event-wise. Yes, put it on your website, but also do an Eventbrite and then send it back to your website, because Eventbrite is its own machine, meaning that people get emails out and Eventbrite will send your event out to people who express interest on a particular type of subject. Contests and challenges, Yolanda M. Smith, she was at Speak Sell Shine. She just finished up a challenge last week. Contests are a great way, like Stacy talked about doing contests. Customer gifts, that's one of the main things where you could amplify your message. Product sampling, digital business card, there's so many. There's hi, hello, there's this and that. No one has regular business cards anymore. So the digital business card, make sure it's great. Custom bookmarks, if you're an author, obviously people don't want to, you know, they're reading your book and they're going to put a bookmark in there. So let it be yours. Okay. So make sure that you have some. Loom videos are really good from the standpoint of sending a note back to someone that maybe didn't respond to your email, but you put in a video, say, hey, in your Loom video, which is a 2-minute, but say, hey, you didn't, I don't know if you saw my message, this and that, but people will look at a video and hear your heart quicker than just reading your words. And then the other thing is reprinting articles. I have a lot of articles that have been written me over the years, whether they've been in Gospel Today or they've been in Detroit Business Journal, Cranes. You can get those as reprints and they're part of your package when you're going out and speaking somewhere. So the P.A.M. rule here is share everything everywhere, makes sense where it makes sense, and sometimes when it doesn't. Okay. So now I'm gonna have Vicki talk about amplification. Okay, Vicki? That's not Vicki. All right, there's Vicki. Okay, Vicki Wright Hamilton.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hi.
Thank you so much, Pam. I am just elated to be here. And when you think about amplification, one of the things I want to share with all of you is that I actually do an Amplify calendar. And my calendar is built upon a methodology. I'm a strategist by heart. I'm a technologist. I've been in corporate America, C-suites, et cetera. And now that I've been in my own business, I want to serve. And I have always had servant leadership. So this is just an extension of what I want to do. So when I began to think about amplification, when I built my model, I said, what really makes sense? So my amplification model goes from seed to blooming. Your seed is your strategy. What am I going to do? How am I going to do it? Why am I doing this? What is my purpose? What do I want the outcomes to be? What is it that I want people to know, to hear, to think about me? Then it's water. Water is intentional. Be intentional about where you put your messages and how you do them. But don't redo your content all the time. One of my best coaches always told me, you have great content, but you don't have to start from scratch. Now that we have the tools and the technologies, you can take a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and continue to reuse it and use it over and over again. And when you want to be an expert in whatever that is, the more you're able to share your story, the more you're able to share your information, the better off you're going to be. Now, for those that are extroverts, I will tell you that video, 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 even if it's a 30-second clip. Because what happens is you can add points that are not in a post above your video. They get to see your passion, your emotions. That amplifies. I can't tell you how many people will say to me, Your energy is contagious. I want it to be contagious. I want you to feel it. I want you to feel the passion. I want it to be contagious. So
Mhm.
you really, really want to be able to put that message out as you do it. Other thing under intentionality, if you don't remember anything else I say tonight, whatever you're telling your story is not what you want them to hear. It's what they need to hear and what it is that they're looking to get from you. I can say all day a message, but if I'm not resonating with my audience or my audience doesn't see a need to hear my message, then it's just words. So make sure that you think about the other side when you do that.
I
Number
love
3, nurture your seed. You nurture your seed by consistency. Be consistent. Whether you post 3 times a week, 4 times a week, if you do a newsletter and it comes out every Sunday, every Wednesday, your audience begins to expect those things. And it's like, wait a minute, where is it? I missed it. I didn't have it, right? So you want to be consistent in telling your messages. And don't forget, yes, you can do messages all kinds of ways on all kinds of platforms. Now, when I do my calendar, I think about my print, I think about my video. I have 2 television shows. One is called Strategic Minds Making Money Moves. It's all about businesses. And another one is called Hidden Stories Healed. Now it's all about lifestyles. And my shows, I will take clips of my shows, add it to something that I'm speaking to, and then people get to see a combination of what I can do because I want to amplify my ability not only to speak, but about the content that I'm sharing. Now, for those of you that are introverts and you want to write more and do more blogs, just be consistent with that. I just have to tell you consistency, consistency, consistency. When you put all these steps together, not only will you plant your seed, nurture your seed, and grow your seed, you will bloom into many, many beautiful flowers. And at the end of the day, that's what people are looking for, is that beautiful, colorful bouquet. So that's what I do when I get ready to do amplification and think about how I'm telling my story and to whom.
I love that, Vicky. That she's one of the moderators that will be in Ready Set Go speak as well. So Vicky is a business and profit leadership coach. Okay, so she's gonna get people straight about in terms of that intentionality. And I didn't know you had an amplification calendar. That just I wanted you to do the A, and I was like, because you do that. I mean, that's what I see you doing, and your shows, taking the clips from that and repurposing is really, really key. Thank you so much, Vicky. So
Thank you.
I saw YB just come on. YB, you're coming up right after this. Hold on. Okay, so this is the M in the P.A.M. Masterclass. In the M part is about making money. All right, let me go back here. About making money. So we could do all the promotion, we could do all the amplification, but if we're not making money, we're not making sense. We just got a very expensive hobby. So we don't want that. So one of the first things in 24 ways to make money in 2024, again, is challenges. One of the things Yolanda did, she did a challenge. She did a 6 figures in doing her challenges. That's something that she does on a regular basis with consistency. That has been very, very good for her to do. And a lot of coaches and speakers, they do challenges maybe once a month or once a quarter, but the challenge is basically you're teaching for 5 days. And then at the end of the 5 days is if you like to continue to work with me, then you sign up. LinkedIn sales, DMs or Sales Navigator. YB will talk about that as well. I love LinkedIn. It is a business platform. It's really interesting watching people who are on Instagram and then see them on LinkedIn. It's like, are they the same people? But it's really about business on the LinkedIn. Targeted ads. I will want to say that you've got to spend money to make money. So if you're going to do advertising on Facebook, Instagram, or even on LinkedIn, make sure it's targeted and that it does have an ROI on it. And it really, having someone help you with that is really important. Someone in our community is really good at doing that, and they can help you with that. Email autoresponders are really important. No sense in having someone sign up on your list and then you just say thank you. I mean, continue to talk to them when someone signs up on your list. SEO strategies, I'm going to talk about that all the time because search engine optimization is everything. Webinar hosting, branded partnerships, speaking to sell. Sometimes when I say speaking to sell, people will like, what do you mean speak to sell? It could be maybe speaking at a chamber of commerce, or you're speaking at an event where you're not getting paid, but you are speaking on a stage where you're selling a product, not a book, but you're selling like your program or some higher ticket item you're speaking to sell. It's a, how do I say, it's a higher form of networking where you can go in networking and actually meet people one-on-one. But if you're speaking at the event, you're now on the stage. So think of it as networking so that everybody will get to know you from speaking versus going to an event and being a guest. You go to the event and you're a speaker. So if you kind of get that kind of thing. When I started my business many years ago, that was one of the things I did. I spoke at a lot of writers' conferences, and a lot of authors understood what I did and then hired me, and publishers hired me because of that. Influencer collaborations, meaning that people who are influencers that have a lot of influence, that you collaborate with them, that makes sense for your brand and for their brand. And it's a win-win for both. Online workshops, lead magnets, membership communities, referral programs, all these things make money. Joint ventures. There has been so many ways where I have made money with joint ventures with other companies that we're doing sort of similar things, but we have the same audience. And so we joint venture by doing events together, or we're doing some kind of collaborative project. An anthology is a joint venture in a way. That can be one way of a joint venture, but you're looking for people who are very similar to you. And that's why one of the best ways of knowing who is similar to you or knowing their vibe or who they are, yeah, you can watch them in social media, but one of the best ways is getting in an actual community with them and talking to them, knowing that you're all there together for one purpose and to support and build each other. And that's what Ready, Set, Go, Speak community is. It's a little bit different than when I had it a couple of years ago, because this is more community focused and more, how do I say, the moderators are here as well to share and to teach and to lead. One of the things I want people to know in order to make money in 2024 is have a calendar and set it up so that people can book you and have an appointment with you and you can talk to people. How about that? That's an OG way, right? That is just like, have a conversation with people to make money. Have a calendar link. It's so many times people say, I don't have a calendar link. I want to talk to some. Send them a calendar link. And that is really important. And the sales funnel, if you're doing a sales funnel, make the last email to them your calendar link. Okay. Book an appointment with me, book a discovery call, strategy session, whatever you want to call it. Virtual networking. There are sometimes, like right now, you all can virtually network with each other. You could virtual network with each other in the chat. You can go on some webinars. You can go on Clubhouse. I mean, you don't always have to go out of the house to network, but you can learn how to virtually network with people. But you have to have, again, that promotion and amplification. You have to have good content in order for people to understand what you're doing and why you're doing it. Prospecting days. Bar none, have a day where you're doing prospecting. You do need to always have people in the pipeline for prospects. E-commerce, again, if you have your branded materials, maybe you want to create a shop for that as well. That's how you can make money. If people love your shirts or whatever products you have, Letitia Nicole is really good at this. She has a journal that she does. She has tea that she does. Amp up your e-commerce. And if you have products and you really like doing products, then you need to know how to really navigate that part, whether you get a Shopify and you put it on there separate or whatever, but making sure that you're not just creating products that are sitting there. You're creating products to make money. Live demos. I saw a lady, she's in Southfield, actually. I love clothes and fashion. And this one particular boutique owner, Black lady, she was on there and she was showing her clothes and she was modeling her own clothes. It was a live demo. She has every Friday or whatever, she's doing this live demo. Enough so that I'm there, like every time she's popping up on a live, I am there at her thing. And then I'm driving to her store, either I'm buying it online. But she got me with the live demo because she was actually showing me what it is that she has in her store, whether it's purses, bags, whatever, jewelry. I was there for it. Affiliate marketing. That's one of the main things that I probably have. Maybe about 10 or 15% of my stream of income comes from affiliate marketing. The other thing is learning how to use to close. This book right here, this is one by Ryan. I'm going to say that, but Ryan Dorn is one of the best salespeople that I know. He's not a pushy salesperson. He's not one of those type of people, but he has the language that helps you close. And learning how to make money is a part of learning how to close. Enough said about that. And then the other part is quizzes and talk-a-dot, meaning that if you want to make money, one of the ways that we'll do is like asking people towards the end of your talk how they feel. Do they want to take a quiz? Talk-a-dot, we had that whole thing, but it's a really good program that really gets feedback immediately from people. And then one of the questions they asked you, would you like to book, are you responsible for booking, or would you like to hear me again? Those are the kind of questions that really helps you continually not just speak and then leave, but speak and then continue to nurture that lead. And then the last one is get a community, get a tribe, get a group that is going where you want to go. Get a group that allows you to flourish and to lead and to be a part of that group. Get a group that supports you. I'm telling you, you can be on the merry-go-round and just keep going around and around, but then there's someone in your community say, hey, did you know there's an app for that? I mean, or there's a book that talks about that. I mean, one little piece of nugget can just take you into a whole nother direction. So the P.A.M rule here is marketing is an ing, meaning it's continual. So there's something that you have to do every day if you want sales, every day. And then now I'm going to have YB, if he could come up here. Oh, oops. All right, really quick, ready, set, go, speak. This will be talked about more in our community, but ready, set, go is really a framework for how speakers get success. The ready phase, the set phase, the go phase, and the speaking phase. So I'm not going to spend too much time on that one right there. YB, are you here?
I am. Can you hear me?
Yes. YB connects. There you go.
Let's get it. Let's get it. So if you hear some music in the background, as I had to make a pivot, I'm in a Panera Bread. So sometimes as a speaker, when you show up and show out, you got to do what you got to do to honor your commitments, because that's a big part of collaboration and creating currency. So for those who don't know me, I am a two-time author. I'm an award-winning speaker, founder of the Collaboration Creates Currency movement. And I love P.A.M. Perry. Now, P.A.M. don't like me when I say this, but P.A.M. is my Michigan mom. So she told me to say Michigan auntie, but it just don't hit. I'm the king of alliteration, right? I'm LinkedIn locksmith. So P.A.M. has got to be my Michigan mom. And so
okay, we'll go with that. We'll go with the alliteration for that. Okay.
Yeah. So in terms of collaboration creates currency, or just collaborating, in terms of being in this community, what P.A.M. is putting together is an opportunity for you to connect and understand that you're one connection away. As a matter of fact, I want you to put that in the chat for me, please. Put I am one connection away. You see, I was in a community not too long ago, and I had a chance to meet a gentleman who was a struggling insurance salesman, right? He was struggling, and his wife was on his head, and she said, listen, you need to start tapping into your gift of graphic design. And so he tapped into his gift of graphic design, and he approached me about doing my logo. That logo that you see right there where it says YB Connects, this gentleman, he did that logo, and the logo was fire to me. I thought the logo was phenomenal. I took that logo and I shared it with my network, and in 90 days, Marshall Fox attracted 40 clients. Right. So when you're in a community where people have a like mind and a like spirit and an opportunity for them to share their gift to fill your gaps, you start to blow up. And as a result of connecting with Marshall, I then connected with Brian Oles, who then connected me with P.A.M. Perry. Understand, you are one connection away from getting to wherever it is that you're striving to accomplish. And that's what collaboration is all about. See, when we talk about collaboration, we're talking about finding people that you can build mutually beneficial relationships with. It's not about equal giving, it's about equal sacrifice, right? So to be able to serve P.A.M. is nothing for me. Why? Because P.A.M. has served me. P.A.M. has guided me. She's coached me. She's empowered me. She's inspired me. Listen, she challenged me. She see me doing something I'm not supposed to be doing. She listen, no. That's not what we do, right? As a matter of fact, she inspired me to step into this role of being in the public relations space. So I'm going to encourage each and every one of you, as you've listened to every other speaker that has spoken, as you think about your situation, you think about the gaps that you have, Getting into this community will enhance your ability to reach your goals, because you can tap into the gifts of other people. Because remember, you're one connection away. And as you get connected, you collaborate, and that'll put you in a position to create currency. So Pam, I'm so grateful to be a part, and I'll be in the community. I'm
Yes.
looking forward to adding value, and I'm looking forward to helping people level up to wherever they're striving to go, whether it be using LinkedIn, or whether it be just how do you network? How do I connect? Because I'm gonna tell you what, there's some introverts that's in here, and I don't mean to step on any toes, Pam, but a lot of times introverts use the excuse that they're introvert. That's why they don't network well, and one has nothing to do with the other. Networking is like driving a car. Like my daughter, she's 15 years old. She was driving a car. She made a couple of minor errors today, right? But when you start something in the beginning, you're never gonna be good. But until you practice and you get better and you learn what to do, then you become a master. And so being a master, you got to be around the masters. And Pam Perry is a master. So Pam,
Oh,
thank you so
thank
much for the
you. Thank
opportunity.
you. I love that. I mean, it's like, I feel like I should like cash app you, man. I love it. But that is so, so good. Collaboration. And you are one connection away. That one, when I met YB, we really hit it off. We clicked. Our George Fraser, our mentor to both of us, has a book called Click. And we clicked because we have the same kind of values about that. And that is really, really, really important to know that you're one connection away. There is a lot of people that are struggling, and I see them struggling. They've been on my list for years. And it's like, man, if they could just click and get with the right people, they would not stay stuck. But again, some people like to be lone rangers. I have never been that person. I always know that we can go further, faster together. So I will be that person that, even from my youth, I was the person that would bring people together from high school, even in college. I was one that would get in different organizations. NABJ, I was president of our local chapter at college. I stayed involved in it during my career. I started another organization years ago, Blacks in Advertising, Radio, and Television. So really pulling people together and my husband's on this line too. He'll know it's nothing new for me. I do that often when I see there's a need for something. And really, the part of it that I do is that I bring the people in who are really that I know need to meet each other. And we did that with Speak, Sell, Shine. And everybody grew together. And so Ready, Set, Go, Speak is the next reiteration of this, where we're actually the people who came in Ready, Set, Go, Speak. Speak, Sell, Shine, they're in this group now really as like the moderators or the teachers. There's Stephen down there as well, but that was the whole group down there at the bottom. And part of it will have media people in there that are my connections. I always say that if you're part of my tribe, my connections are your connections. And if there's something that some people that I need you all to meet because you're showing up in the group, I will make those connections there. So Rodney, are you there?
I am.
You're still there? Okay. Because you showed up and I wasn't sure you're going to show up. So I didn't have your full screen in there, but I'll that's you down there at the bottom. So Rodney was part of the Ready, Set, Go, Speak. He was one of the trainers, assistants at Speak, Sell, Shine. He's been in Branding Accelerator. Rodney has been rocking with me for a while. He was a cover when he first turned 40 on Speakers Magazine a few years ago. That's him in there with the purple down there at the corner. But Rodney, I wanted him to really talk about the Ready, Set, Go, Speak community and really being a part of what he does so well. Like I said, he did the Pinnacle Awards. He's been promoting himself, but then he's also been elevating. So he did the promotion. He's done the amplification. He's done the marketing, which was a really hard part for him to really get, that he finally gotten now, major contracts. So Rodney, I'm gonna give you we've got about 5 minutes or so.
Okay. All right. Good. So I'm going to take 45 minutes. No, I'm joking. The community that I'm a part of, that I just wanted to come on here and share about, I'm a part of the P.A.M. community. I am a P.A.M. warrior. I'm a P.A.M. student. I'm a P.A.M. appreciator. I'm a P.A.M. supporter, because there's somebody on here that I want to give a shout out to. There's a young lady by the name of Nick Sweeney. I need y'all to scroll through the people, scroll through. Y'all look at Nick Sweeney. She didn't know I was going to give her this shout out. I didn't know she was going to be here. So Pam has several times mentioned Talkadot. Talkadot was founded by a gentleman by the name of Arel Moody. Arel Moody, Nick Sweeney, right there, myself, we were part of an organization years and years ago, back when she's 25 right now. She was still 25 years and years and years ago. Back in the day, we would get $100 and they would send us to these schools all over the place. I mean, all over the country. I was in North Dakota and Wyoming, and but what that gave us was an opportunity to cut our teeth. Well, for me, I moved, right? I moved, but I never had any marketing materials. I never had a media kit. I never had any. So I was doing this since 2005. And I was all over the country by the time I met Pam. I had significant clients under my belt by the time I met Pam. You know what I didn't have? Consistency. You know what I didn't understand? The business. I was good at engaging the audience. I was good at connecting. Shout out to YB. He gave me an awesome compliment. He said, "Brother, I saw one of your presentations. You blew me over." I didn't even know that. I didn't even realize that, right? Those experiences allowed me to cut my teeth. But if nobody knows that you are that good, who can pull us in? Who can pay for anything? So being connected to Pam Perry, I am telling you, I have named real people, people that know people, people that you probably know. In addition to this, being connected to Pam, her insight, she does this from her heart. A few of us call her Auntie Mama because that can be the approach that she takes. There's a little bit of fussing and a lot of love, right? Tough love, but
It
it's
is
wisdom. It's wisdom. And so I'm a big fan and advocate. I would love to connect with any one of you. If I had more time, I would have done an exercise. You don't have to do it now. If you Google my little name, Rodney C. Burris, and she said, "Rodney, don't you ever forget that C again." If you Google Rodney C. Burris, click on images. I didn't look like that. Doing it since 2005. That came from being connected to Pam Perry. So if you want to really just amplify, promote, and market and really make this impact to set yourself up for these opportunities, I believe that being connected to Pam is invaluable for people in
Oh,
opposition.
thank you.
Absolutely.
Rodney C. Burris stands for Christopher. Thank you so much, sir. And I know that you're multitasking as well because it's your son's birthday today as well. So thank you so much for just showing up, and you're supporting a friend as well. So you're doing the things that I tell you to do. You don't do them as fast, but you do them. So I appreciate you, sir.
Thank you all.
He met not too long ago, the Afro-American publisher. And she says, "I recognize you because you were on the front of our newspaper." Rodney does not know that it was like it, but I had to like wrinkle his neck to get him to really get that thing. So let's talk about today, why we're here. So you met a few of the people from the community. And one of the things I want you all is just give you an invitation to be a part of our community. $697 for the full year for Ready, Set, Go, Speak. And what we're doing is really rolling it out. By the 31st of this month is $697. It goes up January 1st at $1,500. But if you're part of Ready, Set, Go, Speak, you can sign up today and you'll have that. And I call it's like having a publicist in your pocket. And not only just me, but also the community. And that's what's different from the other Ready, Set, Go, Speak, where it was just me and people were talking to me. But the community that I found, and it took me a long time, is Speak, Sell, Shine. What they are superstars in their own right, and they can share, and we're growing together in terms of meeting other people where our networks are blending and collaborating, like YB said. And it's one of those things where it happened organically. I did not have an intention for this to go like this, but it happened organically. And I know from creating so many different organizations that I was like, I see what God was trying to lead me to do all the time. And I was always fighting it, but I realized I'm not going to fight it. I'm going to allow it, because what this group will be is that it'll be like I'm the Pied Piper for the group, but everybody in it is going to be growing and getting the information from the group itself. It'll grow by itself. I expect it to be, hundreds and hundreds of people that are involved in this group that are helping each other with marketing, promoting, amplifying, all of the things that I talked about of the P.A.M. method. So until 12/31, the Ready, Set, Go, Speak, $697 for the year. ongoing trainings, access to me. One of my superpowers is really seeing a person where they are and knowing and seeing the vision where they have to be, and then giving them the connections and the resources and the guidance on how to get to that next level. And sometimes it is a little rough. Sometimes that could be a little tough. But one of the things I do not want people to do is to stay stuck. I will, if you're part of this community, I will message you and say, hey, what's going on? I haven't seen your podcast, or where's your newsletter? Do you have a CRM? Why do you still have a Gmail? I call you out, within the chat, within the group, because I care. And that's one of my things. I'm superpower in terms of like being real strict, real direct, but also I do care. So those are the things. If people are part of the group, they'll know that they'll continually to grow and to go to the next level. Whether you want a connection to a particular media outlet, or whether you need a connection to, hey, Pam, somebody was on the cover of your magazine a few years ago. I'd like to know if you would make the intro. Those are the things that you do for friends. All right. And so I consider this group like a group of friends. So today, if you join, go to readysetgospeak.com. You get a feature in the US Times. Obviously, I'm a publicist, so I can do that. Be one of the first to be regular contributors to Speakers Magazine. Now, I got this particular aha moment because Forbes, they have a council where if you're part of their Forbes council, you get to write for Forbes, or Inc. If you're part of their exclusive thing, you get to write for them. I'm thinking like, so people are paying thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to write for these publications. We have a award-winning publication that people can write for. So you are now, when you're part of Ready, Set, Go Speak community, you can become a regular contributor of Speakers. So now that can be added to your LinkedIn profile, that you are a regular contributor to Speakers. And that, again, is part of positioning you as a speaker, right? Because you're going to be writing on topics that you know that you're a subject matter expert in. Also, too, today you'll get the downloadable media kit magic. That's a guidebook there as well. And that's worth gold, about just showing you different ways to put together your media kit. And I always tell people you need a media kit. And then people say, well, what goes in it? There you go. It's in the guidebook. And the other one is a special session, which is this Friday with Lindsay, on talking about how to grow your YouTube, how to grow and monetize it. Not just grow it, but grow and monetize it. So that's the thing. $697 for the year. I am out of, 805. Did good time. Thank you all so much. If you want to join Ready, Set, Go Speak, go there now, and you'll get all of those bonuses, and we'll be set. Thank you all for joining us today.
See you all later. Much love.
Thank you, guys.
Happy birthday to your son.
He's 17.
17.
All right. Hey, Letitia Nicole. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, guys. So hope to see you over there in Ready, Set, Go Speak. Ready, Set, Go, and Speak. Thank you for my moderators. You guys did good. All righty. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey, Eric. All right. We'll talk to you. Hey, Linda. Hey, Pamela.
Hey, everyone.
All right. We'll talk to you.
Bye, guys. Hi, Pam.
Bye.
All right. We'll see you. Well, we'll see you over at Ready, Set, Go. Remember, 1231 goes up. All righty. See you. Bye-bye.
Bye.